China, Fiona, it's really a growing threat. Yesterday, it imposed this new security law in Hong Kong, or the day before, on Hong Kong, which actually threatens life imprisonment now for people agitating against Communist China's control. It's quite disgraceful. And yesterday, thousands of Hong Kong residents nevertheless protested, very brave people. 370 of them were arrested, 10 under these new so-called treason laws. The leaders of both of the pro-democracy parties have resigned for fear of also being arrested. Britain has now said it's going to offer up to 3 million Hong Kong people, mostly older people, nearly half the population, the right to settle in Britain. Our government is considering also offering asylum, should it?
Absolutely it should. And you look at China's behaviour right across the Pacific. You look at the, oh, it wasn't China, or who was it, comment from the Prime Minister the other day in regard to a state actor in regard to issues that had gone on in regard to digital technology here in Australia and those sorts of things. I mean, Scott Morrison coming out yesterday with $270 billion in regard to additional defence spending. The actions of China right through the Pacific, the concern of what they're doing in Papua New Guinea. You know, look, China is moving to a very aggressive footing, and it's right that we do make sure that we take care of people who are in Hong Kong. And look, I do applaud the Brits for what they're doing, because let's face it, Hong Kong was a British territory for quite a long period after the Second World War. So, look, I think...
I hear you, Fiona. I hear you, Fiona. But, Graham, look, I'm sympathetic. And Hong Kong people, I lived in Hong Kong, love Hong Kong people, love the fierce work ethic, the ingenuity, all that. They'd make great immigrants. What worries me is that you give the best and the brightest and the most pro-democratic, you tell them, don't stay in Hong Kong, don't fight for Hong Kong. That's the one thing about giving mass asylum like this.
Yeah, the trouble is, though, there's no fighting in Hong Kong that can ever be successful. This is a brutal, awful regime, and it couldn't care less how many it runs over with tanks, how many it shoots, or anything else. This is a regime that's completely conscience-free, and they will simply roll over the Hong Kong. So, the best people in Hong Kong, the ones who've had the courage to fight, are the first ones who'll get rounded up. If I were them, I'd go, and I'd go without feeling any bad regrets or anything else, because I'd say, right, I did my share, but now if I stay, my family and I are in danger.
Look, I really, really hear you, and I suspect on balance that's probably where I lean. It's just, I feel that letting millions of Hong Kong residents move to the West actually helps China overcome the territory. And but look, you're right. You're right. Graham Richardson and Fiona Scott, thank you both so much for your time.